Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Just want to take this opportunity to thank Zach for considering the Rosales Group to come on a podcast. I didn't think we were very interesting people, but apparently he does. And, we want to talk about a couple of subjects that, may have or draw interest to you. First of all, I want to acknowledge this powerful woman that's sitting in front of me, my beautiful wife. And, I want to talk a little bit about the inauguration of the new grand opening of the office, how long she's been in the game. I mean, 17 plus years is amazing. She's got quite the testimony to back that up. Also, we want to talk about, first-time home buyers. We don't want you to be afraid of what you're seeing out there with the interest rates. The opportunities are still there. The programs are still there for you. And as well as an investment home, second time. First-time home buyers, we're excited for you that you were able to take that, huge step in your life. But there's more to it. And we want you to be able to reap the benefits of everything and all programs lenders have to offer. What do you think?
I think that's perfect.
Awesome. Yes. So let's start with you. Congratulations, babe.
Thank you. Thank you. So my name is Lupe Rosales. I'm a Keller Williams agent, and we have our own group, the Rosales Group. And so we have our team, my husband, Lino Rosales. And yes, thank you. Yeah, it was exciting. We opened our new office. So we're off of Highway 9, Bowling Springs. In the Spartanburg side, right next to Allstate. So we're excited to have our own space. We do have, traffic coming in, and it's just good to have, clients have a home where they can go at any time.
Definitely. It's a great location. I mean, it was God sent. I know you and I had, plenty of conversations of where you wanted to be. And, us living in Boiling Springs area, especially close to Highway 9. And, we knew that God would have something beautiful and prepared for us. And sure enough, it fell right into your lap at a great price. I've watched you, flourish throughout the years, and I can't tell you how proud I am of you, of that, because nobody knows the trials and tribulations that, you've been through, we've been through together in order for you to get this important mark in your life. And, I just want to, give you your roses because I think it's well-deserved, and a lot of people don't see, behind the image and behind the camera and the stress and everything that you put me through in order for, for you to get to this place. But, God has a beautiful plan for both of us. And I'm just happy that, he allows me to be part of the dream that you're living.
Thank you, babe. Thank you. It's been years that I, driving by Highway 9 or Asheville Highway, I just knew those were the two areas I wanted the office to be. So just driving by, always looking. And then finally, I met Alicia Pless through the Leadership Academy, and then she told me about a place she had, and I was like, well, can I see it? And she said, yes. So I saw it, and I was like, yep, this is it. Awesome. And it was just so smooth after that.
17 years is a long time. I remember you had that first client that you sold your first house to. You remember who that guy was?
You.
Was it? It was. It was
you.
It was. And, to start off there, the honor to be the first home that you sold shows how strong I believed in you and what you were doing. And to watch you flourish and, so many trials and tribulations that you've been through, it's amazing. Quite the accomplishment. So there's many more to come, much more success. And, now we're growing the team.
Right.
Get to work with two beautiful ladies. And
Belen Orduna and Jennifer.
Shout out to Belen and Jen.
Yes.
You guys are great assets to the team. You bring a lot to it. And, you see a lot of agents, especially, with up and down in their business, especially throughout the holidays when it usually slows down. And, due to the clients that you've had in the past, and now you get to sell homes to their children.
Yep.
It's amazing. It keeps us busy all year round. So it's quite the blessing. How do you feel about that?
I feel honored. I love our clients. We help our community. They know that they trust me. That's another thing that I'm really grateful is because they trust us blindly. They'll, what do you think? And we've had our business has grown because of referrals. There's always been referrals, word of mouth. That my friend, my uncle, So yes, it's been great. It's been great. Truly blessed.
It has. And, speaking to the clients, we had the client appreciation party.
Yeah.
That was a hit. We had a good time, good food, dancing till your feet hurt.
Yes.
It was a good time. But, let's get into it a little bit because I know, people want to find out about the first-time home buyers. We've seen what happened in the last couple of months with the interest rate skyrocketing. Luckily, and thankfully, it's starting to come down.
Right.
But what should first-time home buyers look for this upcoming year?
Well, you have several options. You can, right now, it's really, the builders are very competitive. So buying a new construction, they're offering, to pay your closing costs. They're offering to buy down your interest rate anywhere from a 4.99 interest rate to a 5.99. So, a new construction, not only that, you're a new homeowner, you don't want to remodel anything. It's kind of like easy. They have townhomes, they have residential homes. So new construction is the easiest way right now. Now, if you decide to buy, a used home, then we can negotiate with the seller much more now, and especially in the holiday season as well is a good time for the ones that haven't had good luck. They can probably find a seller right now in this slow market
Yeah.
to negotiate and ask for closing costs that they can use down to buy down their points. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So, for example, instead of you asking them to reduce the price by $12,500, why don't you ask them to pay that to buy down your points? And that saves you $200 a month versus $78 a month on you just reducing the price. So,
And that's a great point that you bring up, because a lot of people will try to take, those closing costs and apply it so they bring less money to the closing table. But, that's a huge benefit you're saying about the buying down the points, because in the long run, it really benefits them. Something that I think that I've talked with some of the buyers that I've dealt with, it's also about, even though the interest rate is high, but it's a great opportunity because of those benefits that you're able to get from these sellers. And then, just wait till you get the opportunity to refinance in this upcoming year, and you could always get your lower interest rate anyways.
right.
But, I think the mistake a lot of people make is they wait until this interest rate comes down and then
Right.
wonder why they're getting outbid in a lot of these homes, right?
Exactly. So there's a saying, when is the best time to buy? And it's always yesterday. Everybody wants to keep waiting and waiting for the best time. The best time is never a best time. You just have to, in the situation, just weigh out what's best for you and just negotiate, or just, just do it. Right now, with the interest rates, if you wait for it to drop down, then what you're going to do is that everybody else is waiting as well. So then the sidelines waiting. As soon as it drops down, everybody and their mother is going to jump in and make an offer on a house. So we're going to raise those prices back up. So now you're not going to be able to negotiate closing costs. You may have to offer over price. That way you could get that house that you want. So
Yeah.
just buy now, wait until they drop, and then you refinance if it makes sense, because it has to make sense. You're not going to pay all this money to refinance. And some lenders are even offering deals or promotions that they will refinance at a discount price or free
wow.
and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So it's good to shop around and find out those lenders that
Yeah.
are here to help.
What do you think these first-time homebuyers should be prepping as far as what things do they need to get in order for this new upcoming year, financially, credit-wise? Where do they need to stand in order to get these deals?
I think their magic number is a 680 score.
Okay.
So their goal should be a 680. There's programs for FHA that you could go as low as 580. But the higher your interest, your credit is, the lower your interest. So yeah, 680 should be their goals. If they could do 720, even better. And just paying off their debt. That way they can qualify for more loan, because the average price has gone up. I mean, we're at 304,000, I believe, last time I ran numbers.
Wow.
Up to December. Our
That's
average price
crazy.
in Spartanburg County is 304. Last year was 288,000. So
Man.
people say, "Oh, the market is bad." I mean, no, it still went up. It didn't
depends
jump
where,
as
right?
much.
I think
Yeah.
depends where you're asking,
Yeah.
but I don't think we're being affected by that. I believe we're still top 10 in the nation.
Right.
People relocating down here.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
great schools, the environment. I go up north to visit. Obviously, you go with me for Christmas time and stuff. And I get up there and I start shaking like a bobblehead. And the winter time, I just can't do it.
Yeah,
We
you got used
used
to
to
it,
walk
yeah.
to school when we were kids in the snow.
Yeah.
And now I'm running inside from houses to cars, wherever the heat is, and my
Yeah.
friends are looking at me crazy, like, you're not a northerner anymore. I've told them kindly that I am now a southerner. They've accepted me. I've accepted them. I love them. I love their weather, the food, everything. So, yeah, I love it here, so I could see why everybody else would too.
Yeah, and that's why
Secrets
people are
out.
moving. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Secrets
Yeah.
out.
Exactly. I know a lot of people posting, "Stop telling people we're full. We're full. We're full. Golden Spring is full." You know. Or
85 is
Charlotte.
witness
I
to
even
that.
seen another one like Charlotte is full. There's no reason why I should be driving, 30 minutes for 2 miles or 5 miles down the road.
All right,
It's
absolutely.
crazy, but it's a better quality of life. The prices, the people. I mean,
It's amazing, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, let's get into investment a little bit because this year we had a lot of new first-time home buyers the year before as well, and now I'm getting some calls because they're intrigued and they want to see how they can possibly buy an investment property. What are some of the things and requirements that they're going to need in order to take this next step in their portfolio?
Okay, well, the easiest way to become an investor is to buy your upgrade, to buy a bigger, better home than you have. So as long as it's bigger or it's newer, you should be able to buy it as a residential property and you have to live in it. So you can go as low, if you have an FHA loan, unless you want to refinance to a conventional loan, then you could do another FHA and maybe get your equity out and then use it as a down payment if you don't have any funds. Or you can just purchase it as a conventional with a 5% down payment and then buy your second home and then live in it for 2-3 years and just keep doing it. The pain is that you're going to have to move every 2 to 3 years,
I
but
hate
that is
that.
the cheapest way for you to become an investor and grow your portfolio. Or if you have $56,000 laying around, then buy it as an investment and just, you don't have to move and just keep
Yeah,
purchasing that
easier
way.
said than done on that
Right.
case.
But there's also another program called DSR that I'm hearing a lot about. I've just did a few already. But those are properties that you can purchase as rental, and as long as you can prove that that's how much income you're going to get from it, they can use that income from that rental.
Really?
So yeah, there's always a way. If you want to do it, there's always a way. You just have to be committed and just follow through with the plan. So they're going to say, okay, you can achieve this goal as long as you do this, this, and this. And you just got to do this.
And
this
I
and
think
that.
reiterating to what you just said, it's important that they're educated properly because a lot of people won't even make a move because, they're not informed properly. I think it's important for them to find the proper guidance, realtors
Absolutely.
that are knowledgeable about these things. Maybe somebody, I don't know, with 17 plus years of experience would probably help, something
Yeah,
like that,
that
right?
would help. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know we deal with a bunch of investors and they're putting up houses left and right. So, we've built up quite the credibility in order to educate people on that. And I think we're just one phone call away, honestly, right?
Right. Right. And I had a client she had had applied with the lender, and she said, "Well, I didn't qualify. I'm not going to be able to buy a house." And I'm like, "Well, what did they say? Like, did they say you had to do this? You had to?" No, they just told me that I just couldn't buy a house. I didn't qualify. And I'm like, "Well, I need more information." I was like, "Let's try another lender." And I sent them to our go-to person, Mike Watson, and they got a plan. I'm like, "You could buy a house in the next 30 days. All you have to do is pay down this card to this much, and you will be able to buy a house in the next 30 days." And those are the type of things that you need someone to take the time to kind of, break things down for you, because they just told her you can't qualify for a house. She could have been another year of renting
Right.
before she could find out she can do it, versus all you need is 1 month and
Absolutely.
pay down these cards.
And back to the point that you got to get the right people in your corner in order for you to learn these things, right?
Right, right.
That's awesome.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
you've been in real estate for how many years now?
3.
3. How do you like it?
I love it. I love
Like
it.
it.
There's a lot to like. I think the biggest thing for me, the type of individual that I am, I can be content at times. But, I had a pretty good job where I was making good money. And I think for me, from my perspective, it was more about, this is a gamble. I'm getting ready to leave something that's sustainable, something that's constant.
Predictable.
And I was pretty good at it. So it was hard. I had built relationships where I was, but we knew down the line what the plan was the whole time, even though I scared away from it for about a year and kept giving you excuses why I needed to build a little bit more money in order for us to be safe.
Right.
But that's just a fear, right? There's no growth and you don't evolve if you don't get past that fear. So
Right.
luckily, I have a strong woman in my corner that pushed me.
Just push you.
Pushed me and saw my capabilities and what I could bring to the table. So I ended up leaving that company after 3 years. I've been doing real estate for 2 years. The time that I get with my boys is unmatched. I get to go to football games, school events, and then learning the aspect of it because I came into real estate with a very sales mentality. I mean, that's what I did all my life. And then I quickly learned that this wasn't just sales. It's about establishing and keeping relationships, right?
Absolutely.
Building rapport with people and, kind of see where they're coming from because this is the biggest purchase that they'll ever make. So, you're not a car salesman at this point because they can trade that sucker in and be done with it. But some of these people look at this as their forever home, right? And you can't take them as an item and, well, let me get the sale so I can move on to the next one because it's bigger than that. And I think that the realization for me hit when I went to my first closing. I might have been more excited about that closing than they were for them because, I got to learn about them and I got to help them through their doubt. And to watch them, get to the finish line was extremely fulfilling. Yeah, the check came, but at the end of the day, I was like, wow, like this is very powerful and bigger than that.
That's the best feeling.
Oh,
the
man,
best feeling
it's
is
awesome.
giving them the keys, and some of them are like excited. Some of them want their picture. Some of them, cry.
Yeah.
It's just it's very
awesome.
fulfilling.
And people have gotten accustomed to that. They prep for it. Hey, we're taking that picture because you've made it a trend, and people expect that. So
Yeah.
it's been amazing. It's been quite the ride. Ups and down challenges. This year has been amazing. The first year, I think I'm a person that doesn't like to talk too much about things unless I know what I'm talking about. And I didn't want to fake it till I make it. But, I had a great trainer in you and Belen, she taught me a lot as well. And, just a couple of my peers, I was able to learn from that. And where I stand now, I'm a lot more comfortable with it. I'm a lot more confident with it. I think the results have shown over it. And I'm happy. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to, be part of this community. I get to help them out and watch their children grow and help their children out. And it's been quite the ride, honestly. So I'm thankful for God for the opportunity that I've been given, and I get to work with you.
I know.
Which in the beginning wasn't too easy, was it?
No. It's
I don't know how many of you gentlemen work with your wives out there, but in the beginning, I think it was a little difficult for you to separate the professionalism from the home conversations.
I do this all the time, every day. It's like, it's easy for me, and it's kind of like, why don't you get it? Like, it's this, like, it's that easy. I don't understand, but yeah, I know. I learned how to, be patient. And the little thing that triggered me is when you say, well, do you talk to Belen like that? And I'm like, no, I don't. Okay. So that helped me get,
yeah, because I came in that mentality and I knew it was going to be difficult for you. Not too much for me because I was the one learning, but I knew I was walking into a teacher. And even though you're patient, you weren't too patient with me at those moments, but it's understandable.
Other people, but not you.
Back to what you were saying, you were so used to the flow and flowing with it that you just kind of expected me to jump into it. And I've been watching you, all these years. You figured I had picked up on something, but
absolutely, exactly. I was like,
yeah. But
you see me do this every day.
I was caught up in my own game and perfecting, my trait at the time. And so I wasn't really looking into it. And I really thought I was never going to really join it. I just didn't really.
You thought you were going to do it on the side. You were just going to, just to shut her up.
You look a lot into the future and I look more into today. I think that's the difference between me and you. I think that's what really balances us as well is, we're different in a lot of aspects, but we want the same things in the end. And I think it's worked out pretty good for us. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I do.
Awesome.
I believe so. 100%.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to the first-time homebuyer thing. I forgot to ask you one thing because I have clients asking me about this. State housing. I had a client. We closed with him. He bought a house out in Chesney. And the day of closing, they gave him a check for $17. I've told the story. People don't believe. How could you possibly be getting paid at closing? What is state housing about?
So state housing is a program that the state offers for first-time home buyers, and it's income-based. So they'll give you $8,000 towards your purchase. So as long as you don't make over, I think the last time I checked, for a family of two is $78,000 a year. So if you don't make over $78,000 a year, then you would qualify for that program. So if you match it with a USDA program, which is 0% down payment, so then you have $8,000 towards your closing costs. And if you ask the seller to pay some of your closing costs, like $5,000 in closing costs, then should cover everything. And if you paid for your inspection, you paid for your appraisal, If you pay for any other things that we can also put on the HUD, you can be reimbursed for that. So you can be reimbursed even more than $17 if we can
Sheesh.
negotiate the seller. So it's knowing how to pair all the programs together, and so depending on every situation is different, because if you don't want to be in Chesney, you don't want to be in Cowpens, you want to be in in the city or closer to the shopping centers, then that program won't apply. But you can do FHA and put 3.5% down, get $8,000, and get some closing costs, and then still bring close to zero to closing. So it's just well, except for your down payment, but
So what you don't-
8,000 can be applied. Sorry, 8,000 can be applied towards your closing cost and or down payment.
That's what I was going to ask you. If they could
Yes.
use it as their down payment in
Yes.
case they had their closing costs paid for already.
Right.
That's
right,
awesome.
Right. And then there's also the Palmetto program that is for, firefighters, police officers, nurses, and teachers. And those are $13,000. And that program will start around March, April. So you can get ready for that program.
Wow. That's awesome. And they deserve that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So there's so many programs out there, and then you have lenders. Some lenders have their own down payment assistance programs. So it's just shopping around till you find that right program that works for you, or that lender that works for you, and just follow the game plan that they give you.
That's awesome. Anything else you want to tell the folks out there?
No, that just not overthink things. Do not overthink it. Just do it. Get a game plan going. Get the knowledge that you need. Find yourself a realtor that can take the time, to explain everything to you. Like, our consultations are normally an hour and a half, because we just go into detail. Like, this is what's going to happen. This is what can happen, and this can go wrong if you do this, and just give them all the information that they need. That way they don't just go do a mistake, or they can't say, oh, you didn't tell me this. Oh, no, I told you. I told you. It's right here. It's written. I told you everything, because it's just the more information you have, the better decision you can make.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that, just reiterating to that one point you said, the fear of, I don't have enough. I don't want to lose what I have. I've saved this much. I don't think I can buy a house. My credit is bad. You don't know until you actually speak to a professional and get guidance. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So,
Because you may not be able to do it now, but you might be able to do it in a month.
Right.
You might be doing 3 months, 6 months.
and if you don't know where to attack, is it your credit? Is it not? How can you
Yeah.
even start? I mean, you're
Exactly.
wasting time at this point.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Or sometimes you start doing things that, doesn't benefit you. Because I know there's certain things that you don't have to touch, like in your credit. If if it's been in your account more than 7 or 10 years, you don't touch that. But now you're paying this, you activated it, you woken that account up, and now it brought points down instead of, bringing your points up because you paid on it. So
Right.
it's just, there's a lot of little factors.
lot
That's
of
what I'm saying. Just
information.
go ahead and apply, see where you stand, and then they'll tell you need to do this, this, and that. The right lender will tell you you have to do this, this, and that. If you get a lender that says you just don't qualify, just like that, doesn't mean you give up. If they don't tell you why you don't, go find somebody else.
Yeah.
And then someone will take the time and say, okay, this is what's going on, and this is what you got to do.
So you keep saying all these benefits for buyers nowadays, and how sellers are paying closing costs, et cetera. Are we shifting? What's going on?
Well, we're still technically we are in a seller's market, because you have to have 5 months worth of inventory for it to become a buyer's market. But it's been slowing down, it's shifting. We still are at, last time I checked, about 40 days, 46 days, average days on the market, which is still
pretty good.
Still pretty good, because
Yeah.
I know when we were in a buyer's market, I mean, it would sometimes take, our contracts, our listing contracts were normally no less than 6 months,
Sheesh.
6 months to a year. And now, we are doing them for about 3 months. So it's still a good market for the sellers to sell as long as you price right. So a lot of sellers are still thinking we're still where the interest rate were 3%,
Yeah.
and they could take advantage and
Right.
overprice and know that people are going to jump on it. It's not that market. So
Right.
you just have to price your home right, and your house will still sell.
Definitely. I agree with that. And I think, like, a lot of agents just kind of roll with that overpricing in order to get a listing.
Yeah.
Kind of hopeful agents, right? They
Yeah.
put a sign in the front and hope that it sells.
Right.
And it's important. I've had a couple of listing appointments. I know I lost one because, not that I refused, but I just educated him where I felt his house should have been listed. And he really wanted to overprice it and decided to go with another agent. How that turned out for him, I don't know. But I don't think it went too well for him.
Well, they kept doing price reductions. They ended up pricing it less than what we had recommended. So had they gone to that price in the beginning, the house probably would have been under contract or sold by now. But because, the longer you're on the market, then people started wondering, well, what's wrong with it? Or because it's longer in the market, let me just, do a low ball offer,
Right.
So that's why it's super important that you come in strong from the beginning and look at your competition. You can't price your home to be right there or higher than a new construction or another house. Look at your competition. You got to look at that as well. Not only what has sold in the past, but what's on the market now.
I think the attachment issue hits more than anything on that, you've lived in your house for a year or two and you've done all these upgrades and made it really beautiful and cozy, and you feel like your house is the best one in the entire nation. And I think people make that mistake sometimes and hurt themselves in the long run when it comes to selling it.
And that's why we set our clients on these, campaigns where they can see the activity that's happening in around their neighborhood, because you need to see what's going on. So you're not investing too much on your home, So if you go putting, gold in your home and then you expect your house to be sold top dollar, no, if nobody else in that neighborhood sold like that, there's no comparison, then it's not going to sell. So always be on the lookout. What are my neighbors doing? What are they investing? What are they doing? How much did that house sold for?
Right.
Just so you make sure that you stay close to that, and
Competitive
don't
with it.
go ahead and invest too much in it that you won't be able to get out of it.
Right. Don't take the edge off yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Anything else you want to add on?
No, I think that's good.
Awesome. Well, I just want to take this opportunity to thank Zach for giving us this opportunity. The first time, pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Huh? Barely slept last night.
Yeah.
But
No,
we we got through it, and I just want to give some advice out there. Put God in your heart first. Trust. Try not to make all these decisions on your own. Get some advice. TRG, the Rosales Group, we are here to help. Any questions, feel free to give us a call. All these consultations are free. We're not here to take your money. We're just here to help you. And like we said earlier, just watching you evolve and grow is satisfactory enough. We just want you to take a picture with you and put it on our wall. That's it. It makes
And
us
we
happy.
do have our little wall of fame of our homeowners at the office of people that have clothes. And if you don't want a picture, don't think that it's a requirement.
Right.
Don't think, no, if you want your privacy, we respect that as well. We have a lot of clients that say, no, we don't want a picture, and that's perfectly fine. But if you do, then we will take a picture too.
Yeah, but Lupe wants the picture. Trust me. She loves pictures. But thank you for the opportunity once again.
Yes.
I hope everybody has a blessed day, and take care.